North Korea is defending its plans to hold a military parade on the eve of the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympic Games in South Korea. Scenes like these have marked the founding of the country's military for the last 40 years, but the parades are usually in April. This year, Pyongyang has decided to move that anniversary to February the 8th. Earlier, I spoke to Paul French, who is the author of the book North Korea's State of Paranoia, and asked him why North Korea decided to hold its military parade just before the Winter Olympics.
There's going to be a lot of journalists just over the border in South Korea for all sorts of reasons. It's a publicity coup, a rather provocative one. They normally, as you say, have these in April. They don't normally have them in February, largely because it's just too cold in February. But they're going for it this year. Of course, there was no plan for this a couple of weeks ago. Now there is. It's part of the great chess game of Korean relations.
Do you think, though, that we are in more serious and worrying times? Often, of course, on this channel we're reporting on the missile tests, their nuclear capability. It goes without saying how much of a threat that can be, but do you think they mean it in your experience of North Korea? Is even that just part of their PR machine?
Yeah, I think it's part of the PR machine, and I think the South understands that, which is the most important thing. They understand these tit-for-tat type PR moves. It's to be hoped that the White House also understands that this is part of a game that's been going on for a very long time now, since the end of the Korean War.
The issue is, I'm sure you have as well, I've met people that have fled North Korea. I've seen what can be done to people who cross the line in North Korea. We've heard horrific reports of executions and human rights abuses. They are capable of being ruthless and dangerous if the wrong buttons are pressed by outside influences.
Well, there's no doubt it's a dangerous regime and a very cruel regime as well, but it's also one that has to keep stoking up its own people, and by showing these sort of marches right on the eve of the Winter Olympics. But also, we do have some positive stuff. There is going to be a joint team, there will perhaps be some other talks going on that have already happened, so we're in more positive territory than we were a couple of months ago.
Yeah, I mean, very briefly, we are, as you say, we're going to see a joint team. That's seen as a real positive move.
Yes, I think so, and they've been literally talking. It's been jaw, not war, and one hopes that will continue after the Olympics.